Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Talk Show. I'm Carla Elizondo. Inside Talk Show, it's an inside job. We're living from the inside out, not the outside in. This takes mental work. I study the best, most powerful books on personal development, developing ourselves from the inside out. The inner study, the inner world is the real world. It's everything that the outer world is made of. Everything that you can see, the 3D world, first starts up here. Starting a new book today, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. I'm really excited. I read it for, if any of you followed, I did a Citadel. I used to do this YouTube channel, and I think I read it for that channel. I don't even know if I finished it, but I'm going to read this whole book. So if you've never read The Science of Getting Rich, you are in for a treat. I'm going to start chapter 1, The Right to be Rich. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. We cannot rise to our greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless we have plenty of money. In order to unfold the soul and to develop talent, we must have many things to use, and we cannot have these things unless we have money to buy them with. People develop in mind, soul, and body by making use of things, and society is so organized that people must have money in order to become the possessor of things. Therefore, the basis of all human advancement must be the science of getting rich. The object of all life is development. The object of all life is development. I've touched on this before. It is so important. The game of life, if you want to win, and if you're not winning, this is why. Develop yourself. We must develop ourselves. Don't get caught in the illusion, the lure, the constant distraction. Robert Heinlein, the quote, "In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it." So when we're not focused on our goals, we become enslaved to daily trivia. Daily trivia meaning scrolling on social media, talking to our coworkers or our friends, or going out for happy hour or drinks or late night binge watching movies, Netflix. We become enslaved by trivial matters, getting involved or emotionally involved in other people's drama, gossiping. This eats away at us. It's the biggest thing that does. People get paid a lot of money to distract us and keep us not thinking, because they think for us. And that is easy, and I get it, but we must think for ourselves. It hurts to think. Think about the last time you went through a big life change. Maybe one was thrust upon you, and you had to think about what to do. What was the best next step? When you are really in a big situation where you have to make a change and you have to think about it, let me think about it. I'm going to have to think about that. It's something you have to do. It takes effort, and you're usually exhausted. When we're given a new task out of our comfort zone, you kind of just feel drained. You just want to take a nap because we're thinking. It's very rare when we think. We have to make a habit to do that daily. Okay, sorry, sidetrack. All right, the object of all life is development. Develop yourself. Now I know I'm going to do it for you. Everything that lives has an inalienable right to all the development it is capable of attaining. Each of us has a right to life. This means the right to have the free and unrestricted use of all things that may be necessary to our fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfolding. In other words, our right to be rich. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, in every way, our right to be rich. So the science of getting rich is, of course, focused monetarily on money, but it says how our right to be rich in every aspect. That's just one aspect. And unfortunately, the one that has the hold on us and runs and controls our life. In this book, I shall not speak of riches in a figurative way. To be really rich does not mean to be satisfied or content with a little. You ought not to be satisfied with a little if you are capable of using and enjoying more. The purpose of nature is the advancement and development of life. Every individual should have all that can contribute to the power, elegance, beauty, and richness of life. When you own all you want to for the living of all of life, you are capable of living, you are rich. You cannot have all you want without plenty of money. Life has advanced so far and become so complex that even the most ordinary man or woman requires a great amount of wealth in order to live in a manner that even approaches completeness. If you live in a big city, we know this. Woof, it's rough. I was thinking the first time I ever visited New York, wow, anybody who grew up and lived there, like, praise to you. That's a tough city. That's a city. That is a city. Los Angeles is not a city. I mean, it's a burb, but it's a spread out burb. But oh God, New York's a city, man. That's rough. And I was visiting friends like in different boroughs. Like some lived up in Harlem, some lived in Brooklyn, Manhattan, different places. And oh God, it was a lot of money for not a lot. It was just like, I just thought the only way I could live here, happily and not go insane, to have a window in my apartment. There's some places didn't have windows. I would have to be so rich. That's the only way sanely I can get through that. And I'm sure people can relate. Same with Los Angeles sometimes. You need money to live in decent places, right? It's like, you know, we do what we can, but you just realize, dang, man, I got to get this money thing right to live in a way that makes me feel at peace, that I deserve it. And we can all do that. That's the beautiful thing. And we deserve it, and we don't have to apologize for it. Life has advanced so far and become so complex that even the most ordinary man and woman require a great amount of wealth in order to live in a manner that even approaches completeness. You naturally want to become all that you are capable of becoming. This desire to realize innate possibilities is inherent in human nature. Success in life is becoming what you want to be. Success in life is becoming what you want to be. That's our only job. Let's all become what we want to be. You can become what you want to be only by making use of things, and you can only have free use of things only as you become rich enough to buy them. Therefore, an understanding of the laws of the universe and the science of getting rich is the most essential of all knowledge. There is nothing wrong in wanting to get rich. The desire for riches is really the desire for a richer, fuller, and more abundant life. And that desire is praiseworthy. The person who does not desire to live more abundantly is uncommon. The individual who does not desire to have money enough to buy all that is desired may not be living to their full potential. There is a shame. There is such a shame in admitting that you want to make more money or you want to be rich. Why is that? We've been programmed to believe that poverty is virtuous, or to be poor is to be godly. It's a very deep-rooted paradigm that affects us on different levels. I sure did and still work through a poverty mentality. There's not enoughness, scrapping, and it keeps me away from gratitude. It keeps me out of gratitude. It's a huge lesson. There are 3 motives for which we live. We live for the body, the mind, and the soul. No one of these is better or holier than the other. Each is desirable, and neither body, mind, nor soul can live fully if one of the others is cut short of life and expression. They're all important. It is not right or noble to live only for the soul and deny the mind or body. It is wrong to live for the intellect and deny the body and soul. We are all acquainted with the loathsome consequences of living for the body and denying both mind and soul. We see that real life means the complete expression of all that a person can give forth through body, mind, and soul. We cannot be really happy or satisfied unless our bodies are living fully in every function, and unless the same is true of our mind and our soul. Whenever there is an unexpressed possibility or an unperformed function, there is an unsatisfied desire. Desire is possibility seeking expression or function seeking performance. A person cannot live fully in body without good food, comfortable clothing, warm shelter, and freedom from excessive toil. Rest and recreation are also necessary to one's physical life. So true. just working yourself into the ground, that's really throws off the health of overall. It's like you can't perform to your best level. Your relationships suffer. A person cannot live fully in mind without books and time to study them, without opportunity for travel and observation, or without intellectual companionship. To live fully in mind, one must have intellectual recreations and must be surrounded by all the objects of art and beauty one is capable of using and appreciating. To live fully in soul, an individual must have love. Yes, it's so important. Companionship and love. Don't be alone. You know, to surround yourself with love and companionship doesn't mean you're needy. Don't close yourself off. We need human connection and love. We're doing this alone, but not by ourselves. To live fully in soul, an individual must have love, and the expression of love is often frustrated by poverty. Our highest happiness is found in the bestowal of gifts on those we love. Love finds it most natural. Love finds it most natural and spontaneous expression in giving. When we have nothing to give, we cannot fill the place as a spouse or parent, as a citizen, or as a human being. It is the use of material things that a person finds full life for one's body, develops the mind, and unfolds the soul. It is, therefore, of supreme importance to be rich. If we don't have anything to give, we're just taking. And we might start off with nothing, but it's our duty to develop ourselves, our gifts and our talents. We all have them. And that goes into surrounding yourself with like-minded, positive, can-do people, optimistic people. Because when we just are around pessimistic, negative people, we just keep sinking lower and lower and lower and constantly needing. I don't ever want to be the person that just keeps needing. Yes, I have needed, let me tell you, at times. But it's my life's work to continue to develop myself so I can give more and help those people up so that they can help more people up. You can't get poor enough to help poor people. Rich people help poor people. That's the only people that's the only rich with money you can help the poor. That's one just powerful reason to be rich. It is perfectly right that you should desire to be rich. If you are a normal man or woman, you cannot help doing so. It is perfectly right that you should give your best attention to the science of getting rich because it is the noblest and most necessary of all studies. If you neglect this study, you are derelict in your duty to self, to God, and to humanity. You can render God and humanity no greater service than to make the most of yourself. Yeah, and remember, it's not about the money. The money is a symptom. I heard Bob Proctor once say, when people have a money problem, it's not the physical money problem. They have a mental problem about money. It's an idea. I have experienced this so many times in my life, and I know it's in my mind. It's my way of thinking, creates my feeling, creates my actions, and then my results. So our bank account is a direct reflection of how much we are serving or using our talents or developing ourselves. The more we develop ourselves, the more we have to give. And it doesn't have to be giving financially. It could be just giving. But when we give service, people want to give us money for our services. So our bank account is a direct reflection of how much we develop ourselves. That's a good way to put it. And that makes sense in my life. So much so. That was chapter 1, The Science of Getting Rich. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. The Right to be Rich, chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to continue with chapter 2, mañana. Hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. Remember, this Thursday, October 14th, 6 p.m. Pacific, we're starting the 3-week series, all the Thursdays in October. We are going to dive into self-image, paradigms, what we think of ourselves and how it affects every part of our lives. The way you see yourself affects every aspect of your life. We're going to write a life script. We're going to write the way we want to see ourselves, because we are always writing a life script. It's either causing results you don't want, or it might be causing great results, but you want them to get better. Remember, you don't have to be sick to get better. There's always better. So this can work for anybody, whatever step or process you're at, whatever stage in life. If you want to join, it's a free Zoom call for 3 weeks in a row. We're going to workshop, talk, chat, really dive in and change, just learn about how our image and how the script we're going to write can truly have the power to change our lives very profoundly. So if you want to join, message me. I'll give you the Zoom link. We have a few people already, and I just want it to be a really cool environment to chat. And when you start hearing other people, you feel less alone and you gain so much insight from hearing other people's stories. So I'm looking forward to that. Message me for the Zoom link. I'll give it to you. Can't wait to meet you. Have a wonderful week, everybody.